Yo, what up, a noob? Yeah, they should today, so we'll see how long it takes. I was kind of expecting servers to go down kind of like any minute, so I guess we just gotta wait and see what happens. Yeah. Alright, how we doing, guys? Alrighty. But yeah, we this week we should have, I was just looking at it, Priory, Floodgate, Dawnbreaker, Arakara. It should be really, really fun. It should be really, really fun. I'll be working on a tier list and stuff. I actually just recorded it yesterday. But like, we still have a lot of time for stuff to change. Like today could be really hype because they could have some pretty major class changes and stuff. At least I hope they do. Go Moan and Seraphita. How we doing? So we'll see. But I think they even said there was no raid testing this week scheduled yet. But they might put it on Thursday. Yeah. A little late, Misery. I was running a little late. But we're back. We're back at it. Yeah, let's start with our vaults first. Let's start with our vaults on retail, see if we get anything decent, because we're also gearing up all our healer alts, or almost all of our healer alts, in preparation for next season. Your guild killed Gallywick's first time last night, and we finished a form appeared in our Discord to choose your class for season 3. Nice. Get that dismain going, baby. Let's go. Alright. Switch over to the old WoW EXE. Obviously, your main nuke from into orbit, Shadow Priest. I was thinking depending on if we have like servers down for a while, I was like, maybe I'll go and do a Shadow Priest arc. Maybe we'll do a brief Shadow Priest arc. I don't know. Still haven't decided yet. Still haven't decided yet. It's mount farming time. Oh yeah, is this like the turbo boost for mount collectors? Yeah. Just in an M+ group with a disc that should have tutored with you for 3 years. That's rough. That's rough. Oh, we were doing some work on our weak auras too. The in-progress Jack UI weak auras. Isn't this Big Joe? With that. Should hide it. Oh, I see. Yeah. There we go. I think our druid has like really good output, but output alone, at least for keys, has often not been enough. Oh, I don't even know vault my priest. Well, yeah, like output on its own is like often not enough to get it brought. So I think they're in like good but not great position. I think actually like Shaman's in a better spot than like our druid. Like their raid buff's really, really good, just like druids is. But I think there's like a little bit less competition and a bit more flexibility. And I don't know why it won't let me log out. There we go. I don't think I have a monk vault. I think I only have Pally and Shaman vaults. Let's see. Let's see though. But yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, I think Shaman kind of brings a bit more mitigation through like just bonus stamina. Think of like Slink for temporary DR and stuff, even though it's a slight one. Downpour as well for the bonus stamina there. You have a bit more tools to like help people live than Druid has, where Druid's just like, let me muscle heal through stuff. The buff the raid? Oh yeah, oh yeah. So like, they always make PTR, like raid testing and stuff like that, really easy. Like the heal checks are like nothing. The heal checks and PTR testing are like almost always nothing. Ignoring the Transmog buff, that I am. But I'm not ignoring my vaults. Everyone said Prez be R1 if AUG didn't exist or was nerfed, with AUG even being nerfed so long. It's sad not to see more Prez. Yeah, and like for a while, I definitely felt like Prez was going to get a lot of representation, because its output was just like incredibly good. But it's also, Prez has like really good output in dungeons, but it has the worst quality of life for setting up your healing. It's actually like the worst. Yeah, having your niche just be HPS, just like, it means you kind of get pulled around more, I guess, or your fate is not really your own, you know? Yeah, there's like so much setup work, and like, if other healers can do similar levels of healing but have way easier quality of life, then like that's just gonna be a better healer, you know? It's like, it's really easy when people make tier lists to talk about like, they bring Iron Bark or Pain Sup or Shield or whatever. Like, that's the ability, so it's good, you know? But there's a little bit more to it than that, and part of it is like, how flexible is your healing, you know? Like, everyone would be like, yeah, you know, Discus absorbs and DR and stuff, and it's true. But also, you can use your healing cooldowns in like a variety of ways and a variety of combos depending on what you have. Now, you can have variety in how you set up your healing for Prez, but it's still a lot of preemptive work to get it going. As opposed to Disc, where it's like, hey, this time I will Radiance Shadow Fiend Insight. Hey, this time I will Radiance Piety Evangelism. Yeah, this time I will, you know, solace one person and use my extra insight charges to put shields on 2 other people. You know, like, you have so many options for how you can deal with problems. And other healers, not all healers are built the same way. Shocker. But yeah, all right. Pally's got a vault. Hey, Bizzle. Pally's got a vault. I wish I could just get like 200 gilded crests. I guess I need boots, don't I? Huh. My dude's looking pretty stout, actually. He needs some boots. I need to get more gilded crests, as always. But I have like all mythic track items. It's crazy. Yeah, we need some boots though. And no boots. We got a wonder wall though. We do have a wonder wall. Can't really upgrade it. I think we definitely take... Yeah, I think we definitely take the Go Pack. Good for raid. Not as good for dungeons, but that's not the end of the world. Yeah. Because, I mean, I could just upgrade this weapon. I need to recraft the weapon anyway. The shield anyway. And that's not even the better shield. So, yeah. Go Pack. Now we're about to do Rain Jacket's Vault. Just about to. Perfect timing, in fact. Yay, 678. 678. It's like graceful something, right? Or wings. Wing. In a summer dream. And I know you're coming back to me. Loving me the first dream. Alright, got that. Gotta fix up our awful transmog. 10 items from Mythic Sanctum first boss. Yikes. Where is it? There we go. There we go. I feel like my add-ons are just bugging out. I updated everything, though. Weird, weird, weird. All right, rain jacket vault. Good old rain jacket vault. Hopefully they'll have like a little announce for PTR builds. I believe we're gonna have a new PTR build today, or at least we should. So we'll see. You know what it might be is it might be like at 5 today or something like that. Like as the workday winds down for them. That would be sick. All right. Rain jacket needs a ring. Needs a ring. I can always upgrade the shield. A neck would be really big, honestly. A neck would be absurdly big to get. And technically an off helm. I don't want the tiered helm. I need the off helm. I just need Valor Stones. Ah, shit. We're about to find out, Adora. About to find out. How you doing? Let's see what our guys getting here. Give me a neck. Oh my god, it's a neck, but it is so much mastery. Man. Thank you, G11. Shit. I mean... What if we just take the Godfather bling so that it's easier to upgrade future stuff? I think that might be the angle. Okay, first 15 of the season time. Cinderbrew with some friends who didn't have all their push teams, so I got invited. We got to do attempts. Oh, it's sick, dude. Congrats. Cinderbrew is like super, super tough, too. That one's super, super tough. Yeah, I know Shaman Mastery bad, but like, I literally am wearing a 619. So like, if I pick this up, then if I ever get a well-statted neck, then it'll be fine. Alternatively, I could just craft one. And then pick up the cloak instead. 3790 IO, and you're going to lose the title in Europe because of boosts. Opinions? Boosts are not new. Every season the title's existed, there's been boosts for it. Yeah. Yep. And there's no guarantee that you're going to lose it. You have at least a full month. I think everybody agrees we're not getting the patch in July. So you have at least a full month to get that shit rolling. But if you're like somebody who doesn't have like a network or a dedicated team, because they're two different things, you know, one is a team of people you always play with. The other is like having a smattering of people that you can kind of draw upon. Like if you don't have a network of people to play with, you're always going to be at the mercy of like the score constantly going up. Yeah, exactly.
Hello. 32 like, years. Hunjik Bluff.
It's easier if you have a team and stuff, and it's easier on EU to like push up as a solo queue player, but it's still relatively super hard to get title as a solo queue. Like this next month, if you want title, you have to lock in, you know, and that would happen with or without boosts. Like you have to lock in, you have to like be adding people to your friends list, you have to be networking with people if you want to reliably get title, because otherwise this is going to happen every single season for you till the end of time. And like that's harsh, but like honestly, that's just kind of the truth. You know, yo, Rami, thank you for the 32 months. How you doing? Like even if they ban like boosting, there would still be people who would like bring along their friends, you know, and they'd use like the resilient system to like bring their friends along. You know, to organize a weeknight thing for keys, you can go for title. Yeah, and like even if you can't get the same 5 people on. If you have a network of like 12 people and you're kind of all playing around the same time, that helps too. That's why I say it's less about having like a full 100% dedicated team. And then if you just have like a network of, you know, reliable people to draw upon, that's really good too. That's really, really good too. Okay. Decision time. I'm gonna take the bling. I could also take the cloak, but I think I'm gonna take the eye level. I will take the eye level upgrade. As much as it sucks. I think the 50 eye levels or something like that is actually going to be worth it. Oddly enough. All right. Yeah, the thing is though, like there already was a lot of key sales going on. It was just like you would have like one attempt kind of deal, you know? Oh, that was my Weathered of the Undermine achievement. It was like, it's gonna happen one way or another, you know? It's gonna happen one way or another. So, I don't know. I've yet to like hear of an idea that I think is like a good upgrade or something like that. Basically. I didn't even upgrade this circlet. Shit, I need some rings so badly. So badly. Yeah, you're just getting like stupid amounts of gear. Are you just getting stupid amounts of gear? Yeah, that is a lot. That is a lot. Alright. Let's, Yeah, we could do some... Actually, I want to set the cooldown manager real fast. Let's set it up. Yeah, should be fine. Boosting for CE gear weekly is okay. Boosting rank 1 titles, cut off glad that dethrones people is just out of this world. But they're kind of the same, you know? I don't know. Boosting people for cutting edge, even getting people like people can pay to be in a Hall of Fame guild and they can wear the Hall of Fame title and stuff like that. I think is like the exact same. Yeah. But like, there's a reason that these titles are so competitive, you know? That's just a feature, basically. That's just a feature of what Blizzard's been up to lately. Let's see. Yeah, we'll see what specs are going to be like viable for pushing title and stuff like that. We'll see. We still got a good amount of time. All right, I'm gonna run with. I wanted to run with some dungeon trinkets, but they just they did not make them available from the vendors. Let me mess around with the Lumithars. Yeah, Voidweaver feels like good. In fact, the tier set bonus is absurdly strong. Like the strength of that tier set bonus is really, really high. But it basically like brings the spec to a balanced level. Or mostly balanced level with Oracle. Problem is, Voidweaver is really not flexible in how it heals. And Oracle really, really is. So that makes it quite a bit more difficult. Fuck it. It's a 47% buff for, oh, that's crazy. For Shadow Priests. There we go. Yeah, at this point we played all the healer specs and all the combos and stuff like that. So it's like Void Weaver feels good, but it's just not that flexible with its healing. And that's a huge, huge downside for it. Like, you want to be able to deal with a variety of damage patterns, and Void Weaver's like not that great at doing that, unfortunately. Oh, it's not on healing done. I got you, boo. Good call. Yeah, pretty similar thing with pretty similar thing as well when it comes to with preservation. Yeah. Oh, my dots are falling off. I need the mana regen. Ooh, big shields, getting some luminous barrier value. Haven't changed or updated anything on PTR for the CD manager? Nope. It's just all it is. And, like, it's not awful, right? Certainly. But having to use an add-on to control what all is going on with it, less than ideal. Less than ideal. Yeah, Lightsmith Pally is pretty cool. Problem is, there's some boss fights where Lightsmith just doesn't work because the bosses are too fat. Fractilius, the guy who's the Tetris boss. Hammer and Anvil just doesn't work on that boss. Yeah, so they have to change something with Hammer and Anvil for next season. Yep. What about? This is the only dungeon available right now, but today should, emphasis on should, be the switch over for a new round of dungeons. Yeah. Does my raid leader force me to play a certain hero spec or talent, or do you get to choose for prog? Basically, when you get into like a high enough level group, you are trusted and expected to be playing what's optimal. So like my raid leaders have never had like an input. Well, they've never like, you need to play this Jack, blah, blah, blah. But it's also like, hey, you know what's best. We trust you to know what's best. Go play what's best that's going to help the team. I'd imagine they'd probably be okay if I like only one-tricked one thing. Because they're pretty chill like that, but I'm like a big believer in like, you should do whatever is most helpful for the team. If, you know, you're playing at like a high level, you know? If you're playing at like a high competitive level, that should be like your expectation, basically. Get some more insight. About the big adventure in your life, the simple times. Oh, if you are, Nicholas, if you're trying to get onto the PTR for the very first time, what you got to do is you got to go to the battle.net website and then sign up for PTR there. And then once you do, then you can log in and see the realms. Yeah. Yeah. Should be at some point today, Adora, for switching over to the new round of dungeons, but we don't know when. So I'd rather get on and just yap with you guys a bunch, and then we'll see where the day takes us, you know? That's my thought. Why does it not say that anywhere? I mean, that's like all of WoW, right? You gotta figure that out for yourself, bud. Once you get on PTR, but we're not gonna show you how. Are you playing Luminous? Because I think it's actually a solid cooldown. Yeah. If you're playing in like rando pug groups, it's actually like a sizable shield, and it would be most optimal in like a coordinated group to run regular barrier, right? But I don't have to tell you guys about how an average group goes. So yeah, I'm like, hey, I think this is actually like pretty good to run. You shouldn't, you shouldn't feel like bad for running it. All right, I am spreading an unholy amount of dots. Which one, Jay? You talking about the Lumathar Silk? What do you mean? Bugs are always standing in dome? Oh yeah. Yeah. I got the Lumathar Silk on right now. I don't think you'd ever like use it in raids, but in keys, very potent. Yeah. I'll cast it on the next trash pull. Actually, I'll show you. Yeah. You got this, misery. Yeah, so they buffed the absorb for 5 mans, Junie. Yep. We might Tusk. I don't know if servers are gonna go down for an extended period of time or not, as they like change over to the next round of dungeons and stuff. So we shall see. We shall see. I feel like Mistweaver has really like quietly gotten to be one of the hardest healers to play. Not gonna lie. I certainly think that Prez is the hardest healer in keys to play, but that second place would definitely go to Mistweaver. There's just so many like small buffs that you're trying to like stack on top of each other to do like good healing. Crazy how much better Lumathar's is than Buren. It is, but I like that. I like some power creep at the end of expansions, especially when it comes to trinkets. Yo, what up, John? Yeah, look at this. I'm gonna hit Lumis Berry right here. Boom. It's like 30% of HP and shields. Pretty good. Plus, it's on demand, you know? You just have Atonement on everybody, and then it's buffed by your mastery, and you just have some fat shields on people, which is fantastic for emergencies. Yeah. Better, easier to heal with and raise. Holy or disc? Definitely holy. Yeah. Definitely holy for raiding. You spend a ton of time casting Perv Mending next patch, too. And they all feel really, really good. Yeah. In terms of what's better for healing, that remains to be seen. Because, like, tuning could change, you know, for next season and stuff really easily. At the moment, Holy Priest, I think, is a little bit stronger in raids, but we've only done one raid test, and it was on Heroic, and it was all pretty low healing checks, so, like, you know. Stuff can change. What I tell you today could, you know, change and no longer be true tomorrow, right? So, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yeah, of course. Absolutely. John McClane literally does save Christmas. I don't really see how it's any different than Rudolph. Yeah, man. Now, Rudolph didn't throw anybody off a building, mind you, but he did welcome everybody to the party, pal. Yo, what up, Doom? Ooh, all three. And we hit a shield. Good afternoon, Grandma. Yeah, I love the Eco Dome. Yeah, it's the only dungeon available at the moment. I've been having a lot of fun on PTR. I'm running both mana talents. I'm running Shield Discipline, and I'm also running Throes of Pain. So I have a lot of mana to work with. I have a lot of mana to work with, which helps it out. It's a big hit. Raid test was fun. You know, I think this raid is going to be a lot better than Liberation of Undermine. There's just a number of like really cool boss mechanics that we've seen. The way they like integrate the cloak into some of the raid fights is kind of cool. So you like jump from platform to platform here and there. I think Liberation was like pretty good, but I have a feeling this one's gonna be even better. Hopefully it will. Hopefully. With the healing tree that gives you shields? Yeah, it's right here. It's called Lumithar's Living Silk. So I toss it out to my buddies. And so basically, if you take a hit, 75% of that damage from that hit goes into the absorb, 25% of the damage goes through. And so the big thing there is that it's actually like a more efficient way to like organize and absorb. Having a little bit of damage go through with it actually like makes it better. And being able to put up, I want to say, how much are the shields? 5 mil or something along those lines when we have about 14 mil HP is really, really strong. Like, that stuff's actually pretty nuts. It's actually pretty nuts. Getting, you know, 25, 30% of your HP and stuff like that in an absorb every minute and a half. It's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Looks like it get even more tricky in 11.2 and they'll be reworking the Vivification and nerfing the Cast Weaving playstyle. Yep. Absolutely. It's a party-wide shield. So right now, I hit button. Everyone gains a shield for about 30% of their HP. Yeah. Whoa. I got double bolted. Damn. Should inspect change the most? Nobody's received like crazy changes, I think. It's all been kind of subtle. I think that maybe I think there's actually a good chance you could play Farseer Shaman. Both in keys. Well, we'll see about raids, but definitely in keys. Definitely in keys. I mean, like Flame Shaper, I don't know how much it really like. I don't really know how much it actually changed the playstyle more than just like augmented it, you know? Yeah, like Flame Shaper's nuts in raids right now, but I don't think they're really changing much about how they play. Yeah. This would be the favorite healer with the 40-yard range? Someday. Someday. Nah, I checked and it seemed like it'd be noon, Craig, but you know, noon's already passed, so who knows? Yeah, of course, Wisty. Light Priest is really, really good output. There's some really, really good output. Oh, fucking bolts, dude. Cooking in the quest for the DH third spec? Yeah, there it is. Holy Priest Oracle tier set's nuts, Wist. Yeah. Every Prayer of Mending cast is about half the strength of a Serenity. It's really, really nice. Yeah, it's good value, dude. It's really, really good value. Yeah, it's kick. Yeah. Zally is good now. Am I on board? I'm not on board. I think if you destroy a city, you should probably not be on the allies list. And if you munch Khadgar and put him in a wheelchair. A spectral wheelchair. Khadgar put himself in a wheelchair. He's magical. He probably could have just made himself legs. That'd been cool if he had like some kind of mecha walker that was all magical. Yeah. But I love how the whole impetus for Xalatath is like, well, I was gonna do bad things, but like they're doing worse things, so we have to stop them together. It's like, do we though? Oh, I didn't see any data mine quests. Yeah. Did Illidan do that? No, he sacrificed everything, so he's chill. He's chill. Yeah, if you hadn't said anything, Griff, I never would have known the DHs would have gone to the void. Unbelievable. Spoiling in my PTR stream. Spoiling in my PTR stream. She'll do the big suck to Dimensius and then go for Sunwell and boom, midnight starts. Probably. Probably. This is like Zalatath and everything is kind of like the Pontiac Bandit. If you remember in like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you just like, you know the betrayal is coming. It's absolutely going to happen. But you kind of like delude yourself for a while of like, oh yeah, maybe she's changed, you know, it's gonna be fine. And then the betrayal happens. Maybe I fixed her. Mm-hmm. Many guys have said that before. And Illyria. And Illyria. Excited for Mop? Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to play when it first comes out, but I'm definitely going to play it a bunch when, like, Throne of Thunder comes out, and Siege of Orgrimmar comes out, all that fun stuff. Because at the moment, I'm very much, like, focused on Season 2, you know? Archer looks really wild for raids, and it's like, its output's very good for dungeons, but I don't know if output alone is going to carry it, you know? Yeah, I'm using Cell right now. Good chance this be up there. Yeah, so far. So far, it's looking really, really good. Oh my god, the enemy force is required. I don't know if this will be enough, but we'll find out. Ow, got bolted. There we go. Long feels like pretty good in dungeons, but also like, I don't know, kind of middle of the pack. And I think it's more difficult to operate than most other healers. There's like more challenge, there's more setup required. It doesn't feel like as rewarding. Yeah. You might have some other add-ons interfering, Genji, so might be worth for you to turn off all your other add-ons, set up KUI, turn everything back on. It's usually the troubleshooting I give to people. Because a lot of times the people that import my UI, they have like all their other add-ons also still turned on, and something interferes. So probably better to turn that stuff off. what are the hell collar chests? I have no idea. Guess I missed that one. Yo, Tal, thank you for the 44 months. Oh, it's like a Diablo crossover? Gotcha. Oh my god, we need percent. Yeah, Genji, Gil posted the video where I go like step by step with everything. Would definitely recommend checking it out. Already know if the meta will change? I mean, probably. Probably, a good chance. But I still can't see the future yet. They're really vague always right now about what they want to do with the add-on changes. They're super, super vague right now with what they want to do. Ooh. You trade the trinket? Oh, baby. He's trading the trinket, I hope. Nice. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, fuck yeah. Needed that. That's the int on use mastery. Yeah. That's the int on use mastery. Big, big, big. Yeah. Another chatter in another stream got mad at me for saying it's too early to tell metas, and he hit me with the, what's your IO? Oh my god. You are crazy with it, I swear. I swear. Yeah, I don't know if the Outlaw had something bug with it. I actually have no idea. I wasn't really paying attention. So, hit the do you need card? Yeah, the vendor doesn't sell the trinket, okay? It's literally our raid ramping trinket. I need that shit, man. It's got speed on it, too. It's got speed. Yo, Amandriata, thank you so much for the new sub. Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Ooh, neat. Apparently, they just data mined some changes to some of the dungeons. Shout out Wowhead. Little exclusive. Long-time lurker on YouTube. Glad you can finally watch the streams. Yo, welcome in. Where? They haven't announced it yet. Well, they haven't made an article about it yet. But they just DM'd it to me. Because they're the goats. So we get to see what they changed for the dungeons this week. So that's what damage buffs for Abyssal Blast. Oh, Abyssal Howl. That's the thing on the boat. Inflicts like 10 million damage and increases all damage done by 10% while the absorb remains. Whoa. So that got very, very nasty. Gotta get himself banned. They literally said you could share with the stream. They said they love the jackpack, so they wanted to give us early access, okay? Yeah. Early access. Early access. Black Edge, damage buffs. I want to see about like the I want to see if they change any sort of abilities around, because a lot of this is tuning just to scale everything up, you know? Just to scale everything up. Shadowy Decay, you know, damage from the Ascendant boss is about the same. Well, I think it'll be about the same, depending on our HP. So lots and lots of buffs to hand there. What I mainly want to see if there's any, like, spell abilities that got changed severely, you know? Ooh, Tormenting Ray. I think these are the guys on the boat right before you fight the last boss. They tick every half second instead of every second. Oh, that's going to be a lot of damage. That is going to be a lot of damage. Let's see. Speaker Shadow Crown. Damage got buffed there, but not any ability changes, at least what we see so far. Yeah. Nubikaj, Tank Buster Slam. Looks like everything is like about doubled in its damage. Yeah, it should mean that there's a build coming today. Should. So, Yoda says that our druid's looking at the best deals for M+. I think it has some of the highest HPS, but that's a little bit different than being like the best option. Because, like, there's been multiple times where Druid's been, like, the highest HPS healer, but other specs bring more mitigation, like Disc, for example, help keep people alive, you know?
Cheers.
Yo, Wisty, thank you for the 6 months and the Prime. Welcome back, welcome back. Thank you, everybody, for dropping all the Primes today. You guys are amazing. Crispy, thank you for the 14 months as well, dropping the Prime. Thanks, guys. If Boomkin's meta, our Druid won't be. Yeah, that's another possibility. 100%. That's another possibility. But it's just that, like, HPS alone isn't the biggest factor. At least not every season, you know? Because whenever you put a key in the hole, you have bonus health and bonus damage, right? But they sort of scale differently, and the importance kind of varies season by season. So in Shadowlands, there was really not that much damage, but there was a lot of mob HP. And so healer DPS was super important in Shadowlands. Going into like Dragonflight and continuing the War Within, they've been trying to like lower HP of the mobs, but also make the damage really high, so you can just die to one-shots, you know? So it kind of just, it shifts the priorities. Plus, there's, what do we have for like rot fights? Swamp Face? Do we have anything in Tazvesh that's like rot fight, raw AoE? Not really to the same extent. You know, Saleya's like burst. Bursty, bursty, burst. Not those guys. Maybe a little bit with Sazami. Yeah, Male Boss a little bit. Not really rot, but that's more burst. Yeah, Mailroom Boss and Saleya are kind of like prep for burst kind of stuff, but really high HPS checks. But like Male Boss, you know what's really beneficial for the mailman? Mitigation, like that big coin stomp that you have to soak together, getting a barrier down for that, crazy value, you know? Yeah. But I definitely think it is one of the highest HPS healers right now for our Druid, so we'll see. I think our Druid's in like, maybe I would say an S- or an A+ level, you know? So it's certainly not bad, not by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. Yeah, certainly not in a bad spot at all. Wait, holy shit, look at this, chat. High Priest Ama in Priory has an 85% spell reflect instead of a 45% spell reflect. Bro, check this shit out. Shit is actually insane. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to the right. You're going to the right. I know who I'm sending this to. Oh, it happens before the... The second one is the in-combat one? Oh, damn. Okay. JK. So still 70 to 70% and a way fatter absorb. Yeah. Time to go to the right. Pot shots have a little bit less of a cast time. Yeah. Don't fire Jack for leaks. Who do you think gave it to me, guys? Oh, crazy. Oh, yeah. Guard Captain Suleiman does his fizz attack and stuff like that. 2.5 second cast time increases all damage by 50%. Cause melee attacks to also inflict fire damage. That's the Forge Master. So they have a longer cast time to kind of get ready for that. That's fine. God, that feels like an insane damage buff for Dalcry. It's like 3 times. Yeah, so new ability, Earth-Shattering Spear. He hurls his spear with destructive force that inflicts physical damage to players in the area, shatters the ground, and inflicts sonic damage to all players. The shattered ground inflicts sonic damage every half second to players in the area. So he's got a new ground pound that you have to watch out for. Really nasty one. Hey, the Ember Storm doesn't last as long. That's really good when you're fighting Tanner. Because you might end up fighting Tanner if you go right. Yeah, so if you end up going right, then you fight Tanner with the boss, and you have to dodge flames and dodge the spears. Yeah. Brawn Pike actually has a hammer cooldown, I guess. Less of a cast time for the Pyre. I like this a lot, actually. I feel like it took forever to make those spawn. I'm trying all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, Ganji, really the only thing I can tell you is watch the video, man. I went like step by step in the video and stuff. You can always try importing the UI pack and stuff like that here, but I haven't had anybody like have any sort of issues like this. Yeah. They said July 9th is the raid tests. They reschedule them all. I was kind of hoping they would do it Thursday. Reschedule heroic testing of Plexus, Lumathar, Soulbinder. July 9th. Wednesday. Oh, yeah, Wednesday. Oh, shit. Wait. So, we're going to have 3 bosses for heroic on Wednesday. 3 bosses for mythic on Thursday. 4 bosses for mythic on Friday. Ooh, next week's going to be busy. Oh, it's going to be so busy. Yo, how you doing, Lizelle? My main character is my priest. Jack B. Caston on Tichondrius. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a huge week. Yeah. They're probably all going to Disney for fireworks and stuff like that, so they want to chill this week. Which means that this week should be like a pure M+er week, which would be nice. So we have time to do a lot of Priory, Floodgate, Dawnbreaker, and Arakara. Yeah, we were just saying they rescheduled their playtest for what they missed. So we're going to have 3 heroic bosses on the Wednesday, 3 mythic bosses on the Thursday, and it's actually going to be Plex, Lumathar, Soulbinder, Plex, Lumathar, Soulbinder again. And then Friday is going to be 4. So 10 hours over 3 days for boss testing. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Yeah. I didn't look out at how the Reshi wraps would work. Technically, we have PTR testing like available, but it's only Ecodome Aldani until they do like a server reset and put in the new dungeons, which could kind of happen at any time. I don't really know for sure. Yeah. It is going to be really, really fun. It is going to be really, really fun. But I also like that you're going to be doing bosses like back to back. Because you're going to have the first 3 on Heroic and then you go do them again the next day on Mythic. It'll like really, really help to just understand like the muscle memory for the fights and stuff like that. It'll really, really help. Any advances on the less unnecessary cast bars? You mean like mobs casting? Like too many casters or something like that? Favorite raid fight thus far? Soul Hunters is probably the best healer fight so far. It's like a lot of rot damage, a lot of burst AoE that you have to deal with as well. Lumathar didn't really do anything when we tested it on normal, so you know, we'll see what Heroic and Mythic bring. I don't know if I'm gonna like Soulbinder, because this whole fight's about like breaking ads out of cages, killing them, all kinds of stuff like that. It's like kind of it's kind of Fractilius is pretty fun, but it's also going to be kind of like Weak Aura E, where you're going to have to like go out of your way to, hey, you stand in this spot at this time, and then if somebody like messes it up, it basically just like completely fucks over your fight. So, It's one of those fights where like I feel like everyone's going to play it the exact same way, and it just is like going to be on the rails, you know? Nexus King I think is going to be super sick though. This fight is just like utter chaos at the end because you have like 5 or 6 stars or something like that, which all like pulse this AoE or spikes from the ground. And you have to like dodge in and out of them and then break the stars, deal with the raid damage from that. It's very, very chaotic. So, probably the favorite right now is the Soul Hunters though. This fight's really cool. She got the new charger mount. Nice. Very, very nice. You gear up past 80, you're doing Heroics and Mythic Plus, playing Priest right now, don't have a tank spec. Yeah. You don't need to be in like a DPS spec to do world content, but it's definitely easier. But yeah, you could just queue for dungeons, you'd be fine. Yeah, you fight all 3 Demon Hunters at once, and then they all have different intermission phases. So like the first intermission phase is kind of like a black hole in the center of the room, and then he draws in stars, and you have to soak the stars because if they hit the black hole, they explode. This one is kind of like the Farak lines, and you have them just in the intermission phase. You have to like not cleave people and everything like that. So that one's just kind of like dodge hell. And then Elisa is like the Demon Hunter, and she basically like frontals different sections of the room, and you just have to keep on dodging. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then sorry, I forgot. The Enrage is that you have all 3 intermissions going on at the same time. Forgot about that part. Yeah. Where is it? Maybe it's only on Mythic or something like that? Oh yeah, they also dropped this like fragment of their soul, which like ramps up in raid damage too. So there's a couple different ways. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Fractilis is like the Tetris boss, basically. There's a little Tetris boss. Alright, let's see if we got some more dungeons we can do. They don't turn the servers off. See if we do some Shaman. Actually, no, let's do some Monk. No, it always goes in order. It's Void first, then Havoc, then Vengeance. It's always the same order. Yeah. Yeah, we tested everything on Friday night, I think is when we did normal. So I've got like the VOD on YouTube and everything along those lines. Make sure everything actually have scales. Oh yeah, I don't think that scales. I gotta go back. I go back and get a PvP neck or something. Patch notes yet? Not yet. Should be today though. Just don't know if it's gonna be like soon or if it's gonna be, you know, later tonight. So I'm just sticking around on PTR and chilling. See if we can do some more dungeons. I don't remember for a PvP vendor here. Let's see. $10 Blizzard Standard Time. Soon TM. Retail servers are up. Just not really anything I want to do in retail right now. Not really anything that's standing out. I could like go farm some mounts or try to find people to slam holy free skis, I guess. But you know, I just enjoy having like a break from retail. Do PTR for a bit, and then before the season starts, get back on retail, finish up title and everything like that. That's more my preference. From Invincible now, there's a 5% drop chance. You know, I'm just gonna run the big G anyway, so I'm gonna be running the big G for a while. How you doing, Insam? Upgrade my belt? Yeah, I could go run Delves and upgrade my belt 4 times. Yeah. Yo, how you doing, Karma? Masters TFT grind before the set ends. D3. Nice. Very nice. Got my ass back in Celestial in Rivals. Just gotta stay there. I just gotta stay there now. I think there's only a couple days left of the season, so I probably don't really have time to push for Eternity either. I probably don't. But I think they're adding like Blade or something like that. I saw the announcement for today for Rivals. They're adding like Blade as their newest hero. Damn, they got a Resto Druid. Still have this. Dude, it's like 40% of my HP. What the hell? 6.5 million damage prevented. Oh, I think it's because it's buffed by versatility. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who Phoenix is, unless it's like the X-Men, like Dark Phoenix, I guess. It's about as far as my Marvel knowledge actually goes. Yeah, Jean Grey. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought it was. They quickly, like, swerved from, like, popular Marvel movie characters to, like, the offshoots, you know? Yeah. Popular in 1998? Yeah, and I was like 4 or 5. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Let me see if I can get the cloak on all my characters. Shouldn't the Quest Zorin have it? Yeah, provide me with the Reshi wraps. Does it give me a fiber? Is that what I use the fibers on? You can now see phased objects. Unlock the appearance of the Reshi Cal and scrolls. Phase diving stuff. Alright. Whatever, that works for me. That works for me. Yeah, I thought they canceled the Blade movie though. Didn't they? I'm pretty sure. Just delayed? Okay. How's healing feel so far? It's like pretty good, but it's still bursty. It's still really, really bursty. And I think that's probably the thing that's like not gonna change for a while is the damage being as bursty as it is. Because it would require them like pruning a lot of defensives. It would require them probably pruning a lot of like healer cooldowns and stuff like that too. So yeah. There's so many things that they would have to change because it's like the encounter designers follow the queue for what the class designers give. So if they give a bunch of people defensives, they got to add a bunch of damage to make it, you know, lethal and stuff, you know. And that's like a huge, huge downside. There we go. I guess I'd already upgraded it. All right, cool. Yeah, I'd have to assume there's going to be some kind of like X-Men crossover that they're making at some point. At some point. Yeah, whatever, X. My worst is WAD. Think about switching to healer. Any good videos from Jack you start to watch out? If you want to watch something on like Study and Oracle, that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty helpful. Get you prepared and stuff. That's currently how the spec is playing, and I think it's still going to be how it's playing next season as well. That should be like the first video on the channel. Yeah. And Shaman for season 2. Want to get into another healer. Don't understand the meta disc. I've tried to understand it. Just confused. Again, on my YouTube. Yeah. I have like a bunch of tier list videos and healer guides and all kinds of stuff like that. It just depends on what you're looking for. And then we'll have more tier lists and all kinds of fun stuff for Season 3 pretty soon, too. Shaman set looks a little goofy. Shaman set looks like a little goofy with like a dwarf in particular, but I think on like a taller character it would probably look better. Probably.
I didn't realize I had reoccurring subs on, but what's up, Jackson?
Yo. Sorry, think of this 7 months, my dude. I am grabbing all my Reshi cloaks. I gotta get all my Reshi cloaks and stuff put together. So I'm just getting those on some characters. Probably gonna run some more dungeons after that too. I just want to make sure they're all set up, ready to go. Always been a class where its sets are so close to being cool looking, but always a little off. Yeah. Dude, I hope that they prune defensives and crowd control. Yeah. I can only imagine how it is for PvP when you have to remember like 10 or 12 different forms of crowd control by your opposing team and figuring that out. Does not sound good at all. Does not sound good at all. Add-ons solve the issue, though? Yeah, but do we really want to be having 1,000,001 add-ons just to play the game? How do you think it's going to be for new players, too? How do you think it's going to be for new players? Crazy annoying. Cookie dough flavored cookies? Ugh. Does sound pretty damn tasty. They'll do anything to keep us from having regular raw cookie dough, though. They'll do anything but actually encourage us to eat raw cookie dough. This game's awful for new players. Did one of your friends try WoW and he really tried to like it for like 2 weeks he tried and just so overwhelming? Yeah. There's so many things that like do not explain themselves well and make it really, really, really difficult for somebody new to get into the game. And I mean, it shouldn't be any surprise that like those things are just gonna be like really major turnoffs, you know? They're just gonna be really, really major turnoffs. Yo, Kales, thank you for the 2 months. I didn't even look over the recolors. Does Wowhead have like a 1-pager on it or something? I have to see if some of these are worth. I'll have to see if some of these are worthwhile. Oh my god, we got it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Things have changed for me. Okay, I think that's all my characters. The diabolical goodies. Oh, that's right. There's the recolor of the Tyrell's Charger. Ooh, wait, that actually is kind of sick. That actually is kind of sick. Death Knight, Hunter, Mage, Monk. Ooh, that Monk one is actually really good. That's a good Evoker set, too. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, Shaman one's not bad either. Looks good on Zandalari. Alright, where's our priest? This one's okay. I don't know. Feels like Firelandsy. I kind of would have liked them to do some like red on black and not have as much like white and silver in there. Eh. Kind of like how this set is like all the red for the fiery eyes. Yeah. I think Pally wins it though, in my view. Oh, well, one's good too. But yeah, this Pally one's nuts. Dragon model should be able to display other than the shoulders and belt. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so what do you have to do for this? Portal spawn every 60 minutes on the hour. Icon appears. So you just like, oh, we've kind of done these activities before then. Yeah, portal's open, you just AoE all the mobs down and stuff like that. Yeah, you just get currency, trade it in, get your transmogs. Okay. Well, we got 20 minutes. We got 20 minutes. Make it nice and easy. Oh, did rares do it too? Okay. Damn, I just got a healer. There's permaspawn there. Alright. Alright, let me go do a monk key and stuff on PTR real fast, though. Let me go do a monk key on PTR. Archer looking good next season? Yeah, super powerful. Super powerful. Giga high HPS. This is the Void Core, yeah. Oh, that's a good question, Whiskey. Do they drop ketchup gear? Your experience? No? Damn. I was gonna say, I just go bring my druid and go bring my monk to these. Yeah. Killed 14 so far? Okay. How many runs does it take you to get a full set of like transmog and stuff? Six per goblin, 40 for an appearance. Okay, so 7. Yeah. Shit. I do have experience. Oh, he just closed it down. Lol. Tragic. Havoc's B, how hilarious. I know, man. So messed up. Yeah, we're chilling, dude. I was hoping that we'd have servers down pretty quick and we get like the new round of dungeons and stuff, but have not heard a thing yet. So we'll see. I'm sure at some point they will go down and everything. I play with Havoc yet? Not in a while. Not in quite a while. Halls of Atonement and Tao's Vest changes. You know what they need to do with Halls of Atonement is get rid of like most, if not all, of the curses in there. Yeah. Yeah, that shit's bad. That shit's real bad. We went in on like, you know, M0, right? And we have like 2 or 3 curses on people at a time, and those things are gonna explode and deal absurd damage on high keys. It's like, oh my fucking goodness. Yeah, I don't want a double monk, but we'll try Shaman. We'll try with some Shaman. Yeah, and you just know that nobody's gonna wanna dispel them, you know? I didn't see it. I heard people talk about there being a vendor size, but I never saw one, and I asked around at like all the other vendors and stuff, so you know. Farseer feels nuts, dude. It feels really, really nuts. I've been really enjoying it. Monk, it feels like it's just difficult to get good healing out of, because you have to stack up so many modifiers. It feels like if you need to push your buttons in like the perfect order to actually do like reasonable healing. Yeah. Yeah, I think Farseer is really, really nuts. It's like really, really nuts. Because the accelerant you get basically whenever you hit Ancestral Swiftness, you know, you have an 8-second window where all your Riptides come back, all your Lava Bursts come back, cost of your spells is reduced by 25%, and the cast time of your spells is reduced by 25%. So you're just slamming healing out. It's so satisfying. Yeah, walking on a treadmill. Well, it's spot healing for days, but it's also good AoE healing. You to play Flow of the Tides with your chain heal talents. You can even juice up a Cloudburst. Like, you just have good stuff, you know? Yeah. It's just nice, you know? It's just really, really nice. I think it is the Rise of Farseer. I was honestly expecting more like more specific talents, I guess, that would be changing things around. That would be adding some more like quality of life and everything. Been seeing healer YouTubers and a lot of contradicting statements. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think Farseer was going to be that good at first impression, and now I think it's going to be really good. Just what naturally happens, you get more information, get more practice with it. Because people will ask your opinion right when something comes out, and you're like, oh, I think it's like this. And then you actually get to play with it, and you see it's going to be a little bit different. So, you know. Part of the big change from Monk is, like, you're getting Vivify resets off your Rising Sun kick. That's, like, really, really big for your gameplay. It's, like, really, really big for gameplay. Yeah, we could safely say that Oracle's good. Yeah. Yeah, I've healed a few Brewmasters, and they definitely take more damage than a lot more tanks. They need a lot more support than other tanks. So. Sorry, one check chat. 1 sec chat. Cool. Chat. So on Sunday, I forgot to tell you guys about this. On Sunday, I was like, fuck it, man. I'm just so tired of not getting my PC. If you're not caught up on the PC news, I ordered a PC in late May, mid-late May. Got it in early June. It didn't work. I spent like 3 days trying to troubleshoot it. We think it's like a motherboard issue. So I RMA it. I sent it back to them to repair it. And that was like 3 weeks ago today. And I'd heard nothing from them whatsoever, okay? Nothing. And so I emailed them Sunday, and I was like, bro, it's been almost 3 weeks. Like, what the fuck's going on? Do you guys even have my PC? You know, you guys sent me an email that gave me a prepaid label for mailing 2 weeks after I already mailed it to you. You know, what the hell's going on? And then I get an automated email the next day that's like, hey, we've received your PC. It's now arrived at the facility. You'll have to wait, 10 days and we'll send it back to you or something like that with the repair. I was like, oh my fucking God. So, crazy shit. So theoretically, we should have the PC by mid-July. What a mess. Yeah. Yeah. What is this, dungeon testing? Extending testing on Ecodome Aldani through today and updating the PTR dungeon pool with a build update tomorrow. There you go. They'll send it back without changes, book it. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. I just don't understand how it's so hard to communicate with somebody. Especially for how expensive high-end PCs are, you know? But yeah, I'm not really sure, like, if it's busted, I don't even know what I would, like, the next step would be. Get my refund and then try to find another company, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't sound like we're getting class tuning today. Yeah. Doesn't seem like we're getting any today. Well, Shadow Priest is getting a rework, Domo. Supervisor for the flooring crew is supposed to show up today to prep the floors. They can start installing, and he didn't show up. Yeah, it's so weird. Just, do what you say you're going to do, and then it'll be fine. Yeah. It's amusing seeing both Twitch and YouTube chats. Twitch will have names like RizHaver420, and YouTube is just us with our whole-ass government names. True. So you get for giving Google your government name. Yeah. Yeah, this PTR definitely feels like it's behind. Oh, yeah. I hope we have a heroic week. I hope we have a heroic week. But we all know we won't. Hunter meta, yeah, I mean, it seems like they've been pretty good in all the runs that I've done. It seems like it. Your real first name happens to be RizHaver? Hell yeah. Mine too. Mythic first two should be really easy. Yeah, it's like Lumathar and then the Plexus guy. Yeah, that should be pretty easy. It seems like Lumathar is going to be more of like a positioning battle than anything else. Yeah. Yeah, maybe Serafita. Big maybe. Well, the thing is, I just specifically want to get a 9950 PC, and there are just so few of them available right now. Like, only certain companies were having them and stuff like that. It's like, that was part of why I got it from Origin. or ordered from them. Because like Micro Center literally just didn't have them in stock at all. Like I was gonna do like a 3-hour drive up to Dallas, bring my old graphics card, have them build everything else but the graphics card, and then just be like, hey, here's my graphics card, toss it in, check that it works, bring it home, But they literally just didn't even have the part, so that wouldn't work. Yeah, but I just don't want to build my own PC. I know it's easy, I know it's fine, I know all the arguments for it. I just don't want to. So that's why I was hoping to have just a pre-built and be done with it, I think it's a huge pain in the ass, especially like good cable management. I think it's a tremendous pain in the ass. But every time I'm like, I don't want to build a PC. People are like, oh, it's easy, just do it. Like, bro, I've done it before. I'm over it. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, my hands are too big for cable management. Can't get into all like the tight nooks and crannies and stuff. Hands get shaky when you're handling smaller things, yeah. Ask your ex to do the cable management on your PCs? What a nice ex. Oh my goodness. See a switch in the meta? I hope so. We'll see. Nobody cares what the PC looks like. Oh, dude, but you're like a streamer. There's different standards, man. Hate to pull out that card, but people are like, oh, I'd love to see your PC, and then it's like Frankenstein's monster in there, There's expectations of streamers. You gotta have a nice looking PC. Why do you guys think I never show you my current PC? Okay, that even was a pre-built, and then I added in more memory and more storage, and it's it's a Frankenstein again. It's a Frankenstein PC. There we go. First time I got a PC, your parents brought it. Your parent bought it, and I was playing WoW at the same time on your brother's PC. It was good to have your own. Hell yeah. Honestly, one of the first things I did when I got my own PC was get Medieval 2 Total War. Oh yeah. That game fucked. One of my favorites. I need water. I know I have it. Oh yeah, I see it now. I tried to get into Shogun. It was like okay. It was okay. Just didn't feel the same. I felt like when they did that like Troy, like the Greeks versus the Trojans kind of thing, and you had to like trade food and like the resource management got to be like kind of overwhelming, I feel. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I never played the Warhammer ones. I did hear they were very, very good though. But that was around the time I was kind of getting out of it because I played like the OG Rome Total War a ton. My like best friend in the neighborhood and I would just like play that in the summer all the time. He was always so bad at like spending money to work on his like upkeep. He'd always like save his resources forever. So like I would come in and just spend all his money. He's like, we're out of money, and I'm like, yeah, we just gotta go take new towns. We gotta go sack them for their loot and leave them behind. So I would like make him go to war on his and make him go to war in all his game modes. Yeah. For a good cause though, John. You know, I spend it on computers that don't work. I spend it on computers that don't work. What could be better? What could be more important? Quality cause. Kind of glad you approve. Glad you approve. Ever can't figure out what in tarnation how to spell a word, and you try to Google it, but you're so off, even Google doesn't catch it. That is maintenance for me. Yeah, no matter what I do, I can't spell maintenance in the first try. Yeah, that's my one true weakness. What speed do I have in the walk pad? You can put it up to like 4 miles an hour, but I only walk at like 1.2 or 1.3 or something. There's no point in trying to, you know, break a sweat and stuff like that. Whole point is just to walk consistent, slow for more time, you know? Yeah, I was about to say, Summer. Yeah, I know, it's tough, right? Yeah. Exclamation point setup has the link to the walking pad. Yeah. Necessary. It took you years to stop putting eyes in it. Yeah. Oh, remind me, we got to do Wordle today. Yeah. Speaking of words, I want to do Wordle every day. I'm gonna get so good at 5-letter words. Used to only be good at 4-letter words. How long does it take to use it? Because 15 minutes, your head just blows up. Wait, what? Oh, to get used to it? I guess it depends on like your health and stuff, but honestly, what I would do is just set it at like a slow enough pace when you get started that's comfortable and not like you're running out of breath and stuff, and then just go until your feet hurt, you know? To get into the habit, I just did it every day for like 2 weeks straight, and I just always forced myself at the start of like the stream day to like get on and then start walking, and if there was a time where I didn't feel it, I just stopped, you know? And you just keep on chugging away at it, basically. I don't know. I don't think people are too different from animals in that if you put yourself in the same situation every single day, over and over and over again, it just will get, you know, incrementally or exponentially easier every single day, you know? You just got to start it. You just got to start the process, and then eventually it'll just be super easy. Flash talents? Yeah. Life advice? True. Other free life advice we gave to Gamble was don't order the chicken nuggets when you go to the fancy restaurant. You know? Can't find this kind of advice anywhere else. That's true. I'm just trying to help, man. You know. Just trying to give back. Do my part. You expect any changes for season 3 involving healing, like making healing less stressful? I would love that. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love that. When they talked in their interviews about the season and like the difficulty level of the season, they talked a lot about how they liked how season 2 went. So it kind of gives me the impression that they're not going to make any big changes like we're thinking of. Anything's possible, though. But I think to make the kind of changes you're talking about, they'd have to do more like defensive pruning. Maybe even like pruning major cooldowns from healers, or at least like simplifying them in some ways, I think would be really helpful too. They might also want to be like adding new things to the build or something like that, Griff. So they might have like part of the build available, but not all of it, and they want to add certain things to it. But I don't know. I am just spitballing. Nice. Shaman and Raid, they were like kind of average in raid testing, but we tested 3 heroic bosses, most of which didn't really deal that much damage, so, you know, don't read too terribly much into it yet. HPL felt terrible in normal raid. Yeah, there's a few different bugs. Bugs and like bad interactions. Because another of them is also just the fact that things like Hammer and Anvil, shit, yeah. Hammer and Anvil just like aren't going to work properly on certain bosses in the way that it's currently designed. Makes it very, very difficult.
strongest survive.
Oof. So 4-piece on Shaman, is it whenever you activate Ancestral Swiftness, you have an 8-second window where you get cooldown reduction for your Riptides, cooldown reduction for your Lava Burst, you cast faster, your spells cost less mana. It's like a 8-second juice up phase, basically. I'm just gonna spam a lot of Chain Lightning. Do a bunch of damn.
Only the
Damn, I got munched.
survive.
You expect to get nerfed? I hope it doesn't. I hope the window gets longer, actually. I want more time. Yep. They getting rid of Omni CD? It sounds like they are, but you know, nothing's ever final with Blizz. Nothing's ever really final with Blizz until it actually gets put into practice. Yeah, I think they have quite a few things on their like potential hit list, but again, whether or not they actually do it, you know, we'll see. Whether they actually follow through with it is another thing entirely. Of the healing profile of this key, it is pretty good. I wish there was more unavoidable damage and less kicks, but that's kind of like every dungeon for me. That's kind of just every dungeon for me. man.
Strongest
Always the bolts, dude.
survive.
Always the bolts. There's just like too many mobs to be able to coordinate kicks and stuff properly. That's why I want Dawnbreaker. I'm looking forward to Dawnbreaker being back. Is there's so many times where like the biggest damage is unavoidable all the time. Alright, let's get some mana. I don't think Blizzard likes the idea of Shaman not having mana issues. I know it's insane, right? It's crazy to think about. This new dungeon is really cool. I don't like how there's so many casters, and there's a lot of like leapers as well, which is not fun either. But the boss fights are fun. I think the boss fights are really fun. That was an absurd chain heal cast. Holy shit. You low-key miss Morchi. You cannot be missing Morchi in this chat room. What the? Ugh, that fight. I feel like more than any other season, Dragonflight Season 3 was filled with people who had no idea what was going on in the dungeons. Like, especially Morchi. Like, that season, everyone forgot how to, like, do a plus. You'd be doing, like, a 16, and, like, people would be... Oh, actually, no. I remember. It was, like, a... Because there were, like, 30s and stuff then, wasn't it? So I think we were doing like 20s. That's what it was, because the highest keys back then were 30s. Okay. And we had people like cloak off or immune their debuffs in that first boss, where you have to dispel them and they trigger an explosion every time. And they would like bubble it off randomly and then just kill everybody. And then you're like, what are you doing, man? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could save Zorth there. I don't know if he just has less stamina or what, but I feel like I just cannot keep up with him. EDH was so broken, did everything for everyone, so people got dumber that season. That's true. If only they would make it so that every tank was as powerful as VDH. Then all the tanks could just do everything for everybody anyway.
survival
Ah, tragic.
wasn't necessary.
I wonder if something is not scaling. Yeah, I had Healing Surge, Downpour, and Chain Heal hitting. Yeah. From my ancestors. Time gating for M+? Wait, what do you mean? I think Farseer is better than Totemic and Keys, yeah. What up, T? Yo, thanks, Wako. Yeah, I love this name. Class the PTR DPS spec does the highest damage. Been seeing really high damage out of Marks. Wasn't there something like Ellie? I think, but some specs are like bugged, so I don't know if, like, which specs are like bugged and which are like legit highly tuned. Yeah. My PTR research and healers tell you. Farseer is a lot better than I thought it was on paper. Our Druid does nuts output, which is good for... Obviously, it's insane for rating, because some specs just live and die by their output. But in Keys, I think that's like a really big thing for Druid, is that it's helpful, but I don't know if that's enough to make it like the best healer this season. Hey, New Zealand. Should have a tier list video coming up. Later on this week, though. Yeah. Should have it coming up. Also, Dis needs buffs in Raid. Buff Disc in Raid. Holy shit, the mana feels bad in Raid. Like, crazy, crazy bad. Yeah, Farseer is super fun. We're watching you years ago. I just want to say good job with your physical health journey. You inspire me. Yo, thanks, man. LB Ninja's list made you mad today? What's his list? How's HPAL? HPAL looks bad in raids right now because there's a couple different bugs going on. One of them is like Lightsmith produces its healing in the center of the target that it hits. So with a really big boss, it's bad or it doesn't work at all. So that's kind of a downside. I think there's like a bug where you're not getting as much dawn lights as you ought to be. That's another one. A couple different things like that. Start a 0 to hero? Yeah, just take like 30 hours or something, noob. Oh, you're funny. You're funny. Try to see more than 0.5 representation for next season. The whoa, a Press Evoker when joining groups is always funny. Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice. End of the world of Resil keys. Priory double night pulls are killing us. Literally. Oracle Disc. Any major tips? Using guides can manage pulls. Those night combos. Are you talking about like the first pulls of the instance? Cause You really should not be doing double knight pulls. You do like triple paladin pulls. There's a couple like single knight pulls, but if you're talking about the first pull in the instance, you should not be doing that at all. No. What you should be doing is like mind soothing, going past the water fountain, and then going to the mobs in the back where there's no knights there. Like you don't even pull any knights on the very first pull of the instance. Yeah. Yeah, if you watch into like high key streamers, like nobody does double knight pulls, and I think almost everybody doesn't even have a single knight in the first pull. Yeah. You're only mad because I'm in a main Herald Age pally. You put it on low A. Oh, I mean, I don't think that's unfair. Buff up time too low? That's what we're just testing. Let me see. What was their buff up time? Is this overall? It was somewhere 17%. Yeah, that is pretty low. I don't disagree. Yeah. All right, let me bio real quick. 1 sec, then we'll see which healer we're going to play next. All right? BRB. One quality of life improvement I would like to see for Farseer is making healing rain instant. Yeah. I think that's high on everybody's list. If only. If only. Picture this. A seasonal M+ event where a dungeon is on rotation. The dungeon has every affix available that season. Instead of a timer, there's a stopwatch with a leaderboard. Within the dungeon, there are CD reset puzzles, like the World Quest puzzles that reset all CDs and remove sated debuffs. That would be pretty cool, but it would really show who's bad at puzzles. Yeah. Tying, like, somebody's ability, whatever the brain dexterity skill is, of being able to solve puzzles, and combining that with a performance in video games may not be the best idea. Some people are kind of trash at puzzles. All my weed head friends are cooked. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it would be funny, mainly to see people who are bad at puzzles. You know. All right, we Wordle. I'm closing chat. You're locked in when you're high? That's what everybody says. That's what everybody says. All right, I closed out chat so you guys can spoiler away. All right. No A or I. So we have E, O, and U with a D in there. I do Cloud. L, O, and D. gotta close this one too, don't I? There we go. Cloud. Damn. I didn't even realize you could actually put those letters in. L, O, and D. It's not... What the fuck is this word? I feel like it's gotta start with L. Could be an E. But there is an O in there as well. Some kind of logs? No. There's no R. Loads. I don't think loads even works. I'm just gonna send it so I can get some more on the board here. What the fuck is this L position? Okay, so it's something O. D has to be in this position. So it's O, D. And then an L at the end, I guess. Wait. O, D. Sorry, O, L. Oh, it's like mold or something. Moldy, right? O works. L's not in these positions. D is not in either of those positions. It's moldy. There we go. All right, we take those. We take those. Nobody got it? We got it. Yeah. That was okay. That was okay. Okay, so yesterday's Wordle. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. I'll show you guys yesterday's Wordle. Where is it? I did it off stream, of course, but this was yesterday's Wordle. That's what I had yesterday. Beat chat this time. Thank you, Summer. Literally, like, nothing on the first one, got one letter on the second one, nailed it on the third one. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. I think it was like... I guess you could spoil old Wordles, can't you? Yeah, I did like stare, had nothing. I did plank, and I had the N, and then it was blink. Or no, it wasn't plank. It was something else. It was a drink. This is one of those Optimum Nutrition energy drinks. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty good. All right, more keys. Since it doesn't seem like servers are going down. Think we're gonna do... I kinda wanna do some more Druid. I need some more Druid practice. Might do Prez after. Might do Prez after. We don't even think we're getting a build till tomorrow, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. Probably not a build till tomorrow. Yeah. And then we'll get the new round of dungeons. So I don't know exactly when that time is going to be, but hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully it's not too long. This hero feels fine, but not quite as rewarding as some of the other healers, I think, right now. It's in, like, solid position, but not insane. Yeah. You have to repeat it, Rish. I didn't see it. Pally looks like decent. There's a few different bugs going on with it right now, so seems kind of like mid in raids right now. We'll see if the bug fixes help that. And it's like fine in dungeons, but also kind of middle of the pack there. So yeah. Prez does really good output. It's just a lot of work to set it up. It's just a lot of work to set it up. So it just kind of seems tedious, you know. Still like the most proactive healer in the game, I think, in dungeons. And doesn't really reward you for playing proactively either. So, you know. Yeah, you'd have to just let me know what trinket it is, Rish. Yeah. I play with a bunch of different options. Some of them are like... what's one? Like the Twisted Mana Sprite, I think, is one that just does a lot of like passive healing. But it doesn't have any intellect on it. So it is like a huge amount of your healing. It's kind of like a Galagio bottle service in a lot of ways. Because it doesn't have primary stat on it, but it does a lot of healing on its own. Why prep any healers? You can just play Disc again next season when it's still meta? True. True. The Mana Sprite did more healing than anything. Yeah, so like when a trinket doesn't have any intellect on it though, that's the big reason why it produces so much healing. Because it's a huge deal when you don't have any sort of primary stat on it. It'll produce a lot of output. But I think it's like a delve trinket. So you're probably not going to get it on a mythic track. Can you get mythic track out of delves? By doing like the 11s? I think you can. No? Okay. Well, rip. So yeah, this will probably be like a solid trinket to get if you get it like really high and really early and stuff like that, but you know, not like a long-term BIS trinket or something. Yeah. I think Oracle will be chosen over Archon for Holy and High Keys next season. 100%. I think it's better right now in season 2, but other people don't think so. Other people don't think so. But I think it is. But certainly next season, yeah. Because your Prayer of Mending casts you get out of Insight, those Prayer of Mending casts do about half the healing of a Serenity. It's so much output. It's really strong. Oh, I don't know about a full-fledged meta comp yet. Any changes? Oh, system changes for M+? Not that I've seen, no. If you haven't played since Season 1, they added this Resilient feature where if you time all 12s, then your key will not deplete below 12s. If you time all 13s, your key will not deplete below a 13, and so on and so forth. So that's probably like the biggest feature that we had in Season 2. And that way, you know, there's less homework keys to do. Your key won't deplete unless you tell it to, you know, you choose to deplete it down and stuff like that, lower it down. It's probably the number one. Yeah. Oh, that's true. There is the lever system, but like it marks people. It doesn't actually ban them. So I feel like it's gonna be more for show than anything else. Yeah. So it's like, hey, you know, hey, cool. Yeah. And then Rich, I'll have a trinket video. I recorded it yesterday. My editor is working on some other projects right now, but I'll have like a full trinket video and stuff like that coming up soon. TM. Got lots of projects to do actually. Lots and lots of projects. I was actually writing a list before the stream, and I think it's like 8 or 9 deep. So, lots to do. Yeah, I think it's good that it marks the player as like a risky option. Yeah. Roasted Druid's really strong. It's kind of annoying in a lot of ways because so much of your healing comes from the symbiotic blooms and the bursting growth, which are produced from having efflorescence down, from casting regrowth on your targets, especially if you have clear casting up, casting regrowth into targets there. So it's like you cast these spells that'll apply the blooms that do the healing, and it's not really your spells themselves that are doing the healing directly. Yeah. My 4 against the Q system, I am against. At least with how WoW is right now. I think solo Q kind of killed PvP, and I think it would actually kind of kill off WoW a little bit too. To tell you the truth. Oh yeah, you're not going to see symbiotic blooms anymore. I need to start tracking that. Yo, what up, Ira? Changed some of my stream. Player frames looking odd for an orange color. I know, they're so healthy. They're so healthy. I am vibing. No new dungeons today, but still get some more time to test some of the healers. Easiest healer to start with? I'd say probably like Priest or Shaman right now, Nexus. Yeah. Team? There we go. Yeah, it is a pretty good dungeon. The trash is really annoying, though. Trash is super annoying. Beloved Druid heals, very, very strong. What up, dude, Rafe? Added spawn gets changed to a percent health, like the 0.5 patch. As soon as somebody cooks up a good strategy, that's when it'll be time to change everything. Yep. Nice. JB gonna have a field day on Druid? No, I saw he's rerolling a Pally and Shaman. He's betrayed you guys. Don't worry, I'll take care of you though. Don't worry about it. The hell? Yeah, dude. He just left him in the dirt. Left him in the dust. Just like when Ellesmere started playing his priest, completely abandoned Paladin, left it out in the cold. Just gone, done with. He said, I'm done with that shit. Don't play priest. Call his hairline for that. That's right, man. These streamers, they're just not allowed to play other healers, dude. Yeah. A little Trank. Trank, by the way, stupid good. Pops off. Hey, glad to hear. Well, hopefully everything went well, Strauss. I don't want to overjump it. Hopefully everything went well. Hopefully you're feeling well. Brain still isn't adjusted to how good Trank is. Yeah, that's why I wanted to highlight it, because it was so bad before. Oh yeah. So I wanted to say something. It's shocking how much better it is now. It hurts like fuck. I bet, dude. We get another healing class in the near future? Kind of don't think so. I think they haven't really given Prez enough attention for like as new of a healer as it is. And like raid-wise, I think it's in good shape. But I wouldn't really want them to add another healer to the game until they kind of like at least resolve where Prez should be at in a dungeon environment. It basically had like Dragonflight Season 1, and that was kind of it when it came to performance benefits and stuff. Wasn't all that much. Fuck. Well, sorry, bros. Just a little bit more trash for you. No fucking way. Huh? Dude came over the mountains just to kill us. He said sorry, I think. I'm just hitting Convoke. This guy sucks. Yo, how you doing, Ellie? Prez is way too bursty. You can top people in 0.1 seconds 3 times, but then it can't do shit in 20 seconds after. Yes, and you also have to take all kinds of time to get that burst set up and to get it working to begin with. And that's also not good. Yeah. I hit the gym today. Rest day today. Yeah. Rest day today. Had a push day yesterday. Hit a new bench PR. We're making progress. Rest day was Sunday though. Yeah, I needed another one because it was gonna originally be leg day, but my hamstrings are still really hurting. And so I was not gonna be able to do anything. Not anything that good though. 225, yeah, definitely hitting 225 on the bench. Definitely. We're getting there. Am I walking on a treadmill and playing WoW? Yeah. How else do you play WoW? Sitting? On the toilet? True. We got that Steam Deck. Got that Steam Deck. $225 was legit a milestone day. Still remember when you first did it? Yeah. I hope by the end of the year I could get to that. That'd be pretty sick. Running and playing? Yeah. Treadmill doesn't go that fast. Doesn't go that fast. Honestly, might as well just convoke this. People swap off Nelf? Probably not. Probably not. The thing with the Night Elf pot is it's like it's really only good for specific like skips. It's really only good for a couple skips here and there. Because you can't really like just sit on your DPS pot and not use it on the off chance that you might get some value out of the Shadow Meld effect, you know? You have to like plan it out in advance. Yeah, we played all the healers and stuff, that guy. Yep. Thought I had Typhoon there. That was weird. Yo, Delumia, thank you so much for the raid. We had a good stream. I'm just gonna Trank. Holy shit, Trank's back so quickly. There we go. Yeah, Archer does crazy healing. Especially when people can be stacked up in your F-Flow. Tempo res? Tempo res. Determined to play only healers who've not played. Our Druid and Evoker kind of scared. Take some practice. Now's the time to get like really brushed up on the healers too. Because thankfully, it's not like you're reinventing the wheel with any of the specs coming into next season. There's a lot of like small changes that go on, but part of it's like learn to play around the tier set bonus, learn the hero talents inside and out, stuff like that. Then we convoke and just add dam. Aw, poor tank. He said sorry for the route. Nah, it's all good. Here, I'm just gonna convoke so we kill him off. There we go. We trank through the ritual. Look at this, like nobody's taking any damage. It's crazy. Rip convoke again. Okay, actually gonna be damage here. Didn't prep for that one at all. Give me. Here we go. Is it? Oh, it was inside the boss. I could not even see it. Actually, I want to put it there. Yeah. Yeah, I got you, Kiwi. Exclamation point setup's got all the links. Oh yeah, the Ardruid damage feels really good because it feels like you can pretty easily just shift into cat form and add damage and stuff really, really frequently. I'm committing in here. Yes. Everyone else move. Yashi on those counts first. Druid's pretty high APM. There's a decent bit of like multitasking that you're doing for sure. Yeah. After this, I gotta track symbiotic blooms. I gotta track symbiotic blooms here. Nah, he'll live. He's a warlock. Oh, DPS never grab a clone and get the one heal comments? Oh, I know. I'm excited. Start calling people all bum left and right. I live for it, Jake. Like, oh, sorry, man. Nothing I can do about it. It's a you problem. New dungeon? Yeah, this is the new dungeon for next season. Called Eco Dome Aldani. It's got a really sick skybox, which I'll show you when I actually get a chance. But unfortunately, there's like also a bunch of puddles and like stuff to dodge, so there's a lot of times where you're looking at your feet just to dodge. Oh, a lot of bugs. This guy actually does pretty big AoE. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah. Don't care. Yeah, our druid's output's really high. I don't know if it's going to be enough to just have high output on its own. Because, you know, absorb's really relevant, mitigation's really relevant. And obviously druid doesn't really have those. But they definitely do not lack for healing output, which is always big. Haste debuff a pacify for like 5 seconds. That would be funny. That would be perfect. But also that would cause people to hate life. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yo, Aiden Zelia, 4 days back, 3K IO, just hit 655, still don't have this belt. It's a pretty good belt. You can get up to like 690 something. Yo, Tech, do you think there'll be a shuffle in priest race changes? You're gonna see a lot of Draktheirs, myself included, at the beginning of the patch. And that's because it'll be better for raids. Because Disc is casting lots of penances, and basically you can double jump for mobility while you're channeling penance, which is busted. Holy Priest, same kind of thing. You know, you can be double jumping and casting all your Prayer of Mendings you're going to be casting next patch. So, by far your best option when it comes to mobility in a raid. I think there are a couple knockbacks. A couple. Not as bad as Undermine was. But when it comes to... dang, I can't respond to him. The heck? Well, I tried, Fig. If you're in chat, GG's, man. Damage? Yeah. Look at that bursting growth damage. Hey, there it is. Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't letting me message you. I think it's because I'm Horde. Maybe you're Alliance. Yeah. But, I think more to your point, Tech, right? You're asking if you're going to, like, swap off Night Elf and stuff because of the new Night Elf pot. Probably not. There's a possibility you could play Dwarf if, you know, the curses are still really nasty in dungeons like Halls, and there's, like, a lot of those dungeons where you have debuffs. You have Poisons in Arakara. There's some diseases in Dawnbreaker, but they're not really that lethal, or at least they weren't in Season 1, you know? But I think the Night Elf pot is probably best for, like, tank skips and for, like, party skips where you want to mount up. You know, if you have to, like, run really far, then it's more efficient for you to mount up and run rather than just walk it. So that could be a good area for it, too. But you're not going to sit around with your DPS pot off cooldown, wait for the perfect moment to Shadow Meld a cast. Like, that's just not going to happen, you know? Yeah, the gear is going to be the same, but they might tune the trinkets differently. So last time Tazvesh was in the dungeon pool, both the Solea's secret technique, where you basically like attune to another person, and whatever their highest secondary stat is, you get that. You get, you know, 1600 of the primary or the secondary stat they have. That was insanely good. And first class healing distributor was also insanely good at the time. They might still be insane, but they might also tune them down. You never know. That's a lot of DPS abilities. Gotta go kitty cat form. Yeah. Yeah, get ready to run lots of Tazvesh, buddy. Yep. Yep. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. All right, let's play some Prez. You think that place is fun? Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And probably, okay, this is actually the biggest thing. The biggest thing is that dungeons actually have good trinkets again. So if you played in Season 2 and you were really sick of raiding, there still are good raid trinkets. You know, the Lumithar's party-wide shield that you could put up. But that's also the second boss of the instance, so it's pretty easy to get. But there's a lot of really, really good dungeon trinkets coming in the next season, so I'm sure that's going to make a lot of people happy. But I'll, yeah, I have the trinket on already. I got it on already. But this puts up, like, a 35% shield on your entire party every minute and a half. It's really, really nice. Yo, what up, Sven? Yeah, so everybody's going to go after this one, at least for safety. At least for safety. We liking on PTR, are we hating? Really like both priests. Really like Druid. Really like Farseer Shaman. Specifically Farseer Shaman. I think Prez and Monk are like a lot more work than the reward. You know, I don't think anybody's like bad, you know, the way we would think of something being bad, right? But just from like the work to reward effort, it feels like it's pretty high for Prez and for Monk. Yeah, dude, Farseer, very legit. After you hit Ancestral Swiftness, you have like an 8-second window to cast faster, get your Riptides back, do more damage. It's so good. It's so good. I wish the window was a little bit longer than 8 seconds, but it's very good. I didn't think it was that good at first when I saw it on paper and did it in like an M0, but like once you actually got to test it in real keys, it was like, holy fuck, this is exactly what the spec needed. Yeah. If Brew is meta, that helps Druid a lot. I don't know about Brew being meta. I played with quite a few good tank players, and they were playing Brew, and like, I am just blasting healing into them. And it's not like their crowd control's better than a VDH either. So it's like, you know. You know. I heard Prot Warrior's really good. I played with like one time and that's it. So the world's not ready for Lauren to be meta, dude. I messaged him just the other day. I'll have to see when he hits me back up. But I hope that he's gonna be thrilled because that shit feels so good, even to my untrained gamer hands, you know. Alkahelic, thank you for the 13 months, dude. Welcome back. Yeah. Pro Warrior has more healing than a VDH. Went from worst self-healer to one of the best. Holy. I'm down. I really hold by this. That, like, if they really properly balance tanks out, that would actually solve a lot of problems with, like, metas and, like, class balance and everything along those lines, too. That would help so much. But they, like, never have good tank balance. Like, tank balance is always, like, miles worse than, like, DPS or healer balance, you know? Like, every tank needs to have, like, similar amounts of crowd control. And I would even argue that they should prune a lot of crowd control, but keep it, like, relatively high on tanks as opposed to DPS or healers. Yeah. Yeah, AoE silences, grip, all that kind of stuff. I think it's good if tanks have a lot of it. Yeah. Because they're leading the charge, right? They're leading the group and everything along those lines. It'll be a cold day in hell if this iteration of Brew is meta. That would be kind of crazy. That would be kind of crazy. Here, let me get some more water real quick. 1 sec, let me get ads out of the way. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Healers are sick of disc. Wait until the tanks have to play VDH for another season. True. God, so true. Oh. What would I do with a pug DPS? Yeah, if the pug DPS don't have as many crowd control abilities, you don't have to worry about them. There's less that they can mess up. You know, if they had less buttons, then it would honestly just make it better for everybody. There's less for DPS to mess up. Everybody knows that DPS is the easiest role in the game, you know? All they have to do is press their one-button rotation, occasionally press the kick button, and then the game's perfect. Leave it to the tanks to do the crowd control. Healers to heal. Easy. Easy game. Yeah. HR. Heart rate. Oh. I'm sure you'll do plenty to keep my heart rate up. That's how you make friends, right? You just start flaming them. No interrupts or defensives. Challenge accepted. See? They're all about it. How do you analyze your performance and raids to see how you can improve? Should I be looking at healing parses, or do they not matter? There's some benefits to healing parses, but it's not as simple as, like, I have a high parse, I'm a good player. Yeah. It's kind of a complicated answer, Chazzy, but I promise you I'll make a video about it, which will go, like, super in-depth. Because a lot of the things I could explain, like, verbally, are just hard to, like, see, I guess. It's like one thing for me to be like, yeah, check your casts, or look at this thing or that thing, right? Yeah. Hang on. Probably one of the most useful things I could show you, Chaz, is go to a cast tab for a player, and then in the top there's a button called Timelines. And then that'll basically show you in what order that everybody's casting it, and you can kind of follow, like, the flow of the fight. But yeah, I'll make, like, a full-fledged dedicated video to checking out healer logs and stuff. I've been meaning to do something like that for a while. Yeah. And if you guys have other ideas, let me know. Some of the ideas, like how to use logs, I think are really good, because it's something that'll, like, hold true for, like, every season that there's not a lot of resources out there on. Let me know, because I want to do more of those kind of things every season. Yeah. How to use lorgs, planning that for that as well. I was gonna do them both in, like, the same video, basically. Yeah. Because I kind of technically have a video about lorgs. I have, like, a here's the best websites for WoW kind of video that I did last season. Yeah. Height and width? Heck if I know. dungeon walkthrough for M+ that goes over what needs a healing ramp versus spot heals. I did dungeon guides last time. How to pre-plan your healing CDs with the liquid timeline. So I was thinking about doing it with the MRT one, because that one's free, and everybody has method raid tools anyway. I know the liquid one's good, but I don't want to like be like, hey guys, first buy this add-on, and then download it, and then set it up, you know? Because then some people are just not going to use that tool, you know? Yeah. Oh, like had a high key plan, like fights. Yeah, well, I kind of did that for the how like X high key was healed. Like when I had like Ellesmere and Lauren and a couple other high key players. I kind of did a video like that. I don't know, maybe there's a way I could do it better though. Yeah. Maybe there's a better way I could like structure the video or something. Or maybe just like not focus as much on like the simple trash packs and just only focus on like difficult boss fights or something. Maybe that would be better. Yeah, I guess difficult, like, there's always a couple, like, priority trash packs, but I don't think people would care too much if I skipped over some of the, like, you know, the garbage packs that you just go play the game, right? Yeah. Because, I mean, we all kind of know that WoW is kind of on a kind of a carousel wheel, or what's a better analogy? It's escaping me right now, as I'm trying to think about what buttons I press to heal. It's very similar every season. Very, very similar every season. So I'm like, how can I make the resources better, you know? Yeah. Press is pretty fun. It's like it's on a treadmill. Ah, that's true. True, Ginja. Yeah. Ooh, those are some huge golden hours. 2 floodgate when mechanics aren't done. Yeah, that'd be good. No. He DC'd. Couldn't keep him alive. I failed him. Everyone's DCing! Stop! Oh, we're cooked. Oh, we're cooked. Like a coaching sesh, Rex?
Only the strongest survive.
Yeah, maybe early this season. That could be good. Yeah. When I do videos, I want to make sure that they're like kind of as widely applicable or pliable to people. Yeah. Lack of Prez Transmog sucks. I wish you had more options for armor. Me too. Me too. Some fights I'll have to watch a 10-minute video about how to heal it versus 45 minutes of diving into logs. Yeah, yeah. That's one thing I want to do better. Like, I'll make an Eco Dome Aldani general guide, but I want to do more that's like, hey, here's exactly when the damage happens. Here's what's going on. Here's what's causing the damage. Here's how consistent the damage comes out. Yeah. Definitely to like help you guys plan and think about it. Shaman's very good in dungeons. Yeah, Farseer's really, really good. Max eye level 723. At least until they do like a turbo boost or something. At least until they do a turbo boost. All right, Craig, let's get it. That scene from Ghost, I'll be Demi Moore and you be Patrick Swayze and guide my hands to the easy title in CE. Oh, baby. All I can think of when you said that is the Community episode with the pottery. And they're like, whatever you do, you cannot recreate that scene. We've all seen it before. God, I miss Community. I put it on some like streaming service somewhere. Somewhere lost. Yeah, I miss it, man. Need that Community movie back, too. Oh, was it on Peacock? Yeah, I never subbed to that. I never subbed to that. You know what has a lot of good, like, 90s movies, early 2000s movies, is actually Hulu, surprisingly enough. Yeah. What happened, Craig? Did I get you baited? Oh, hang on, leaving. Don't care what you think. I'm testing all the healers. I think Prez is fun to play, but it's also just like way more work than everything else. You know? It kicked me. It said you left. It said you bailed. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like you can enjoy a healer, but also if you recognize that like it's harder to play or more work or something than other options, then like, you know, where are you at? Where are you at? Sounds good, Jeffrey. Take it easy, man. Good luck in your vaults. Oh, I gotta fly out. I gotta fly out and around. Maybe a good video will be like identifying what the most important things are to study to get better, especially when you start playing the game. Because I feel like there's way too many like things that you can be improving on as a player that you kind of get like lost a little bit, you know? I see the video where Tettle's got the lever badge. I didn't. Was that a short? I've been slowly chipping away at his hour-and-a-half long 100 hours of pugging video. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good, Remy. Drive safe. It's overwhelming the amount of things people can point out you suck at and improve on. Yeah. That's the thing. You have to, like, make priorities first when you get started. Yeah. You definitely gotta make priorities. On the video he posted 6 hours ago. Was it in the hour and a half video? I see that, and then I think that's kind of it. I think that's kind of it. Oh, it was a bench episode. Okay, okay. Holy shit, Highwell. I'm sorry to hear it, dude. Well, we can definitely help out. I'm honestly really looking forward to the lever penalty thing, because I think it's just gonna, like, mark a whole bunch of people who are just toxic assholes in dungeons regularly. Because I don't think it's gonna stop them from their behavior, but it will just help you identify them and avoid them. Yeah. Maybe certain people from certain servers is possible. Yeah, yeah. It's possible. Very likely. The debuff? What debuff? Oh, the debuff for deserting a key. Sorry. Isn't it like 12 hours or something? I thought it was like long. That's a good question though. I thought it was decently long though. It's until you complete a certain amount of keys without leaving. Oh, that's good. That's actually really good. That's hilarious. That's actually really, really funny. Just to like the invited tank from those servers. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. It's so weird for WoW. Because like, I remember in the early days when they started merging. You guys remember Connected Realms? Like, I was on Kilrog. And we got connected with a server called Winterhoof. Which I think was like an RP realm or something. But for whatever reason, we thought we were like better than them. And we called them Winter Goofs. And we didn't invite them. But like, people get like, I don't know, so weirdly defensive just because they're LATAM servers. When like people have always been judgy about how somebody plays from a different server, and I feel like that was one of like the cornerstones of WoW for a while. Was like people would act in similar ways, and each server would act differently. But I guess I'm just old. I still remember those days. It won't have the buff going. PvE server shame from PvP server elites. Yeah, exactly. Like, it was so silly when people are like calling Towley like racist and stuff. When he was like, hey, like people are leaving from these servers and I experience that all the time, you know? Like, come on, get real. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too, Jake, is like you're just gonna see the proof in the pudding. Yeah. It literally will just result in like a scarlet letter that gets applied to people. You know? Which, ironically, is probably gonna make the stereotyping more... like, people will be like more justified in it because then they'll see like more marks on it and stuff like that, so... I don't know. Season 3 tier list where Disc is going to stand on it. It's still S tier for dungeons, I'd say, right now. My whole point, though, is I don't think it's anything that's involving with somebody's race. I think the entire, like, server lever thing comes from people just studying patterns and what's been happening. And, like, Europeans quite literally do the same exact thing to other Europeans. I played on EU for 2 years, and people are like, oh, French server, oh, like, Russian server, like, oh, this and that. Like, I would hear that shit all the time. I had one time where people were like, oh, you're playing with, like, Italians. And I was like, is that wrong? Good, you know? But yeah, quite literally, that shit happens, like, all the time. That shit happens all the time. People still love to say toxic players come from Tyke, tryhards, and Illidan. Well, that's what my whole point, right? Is like there is always these like server generalizations that happen no matter what, you know? It just always happens. Had Americans, they think Portuguese is Spanish, otherwise they never treat you badly. My mom speaks Spanish, and She spoke Spanish for years, and one time she tried to greet a woman who she thought was from a Spanish-speaking Latin American country, and then she started speaking Portuguese back. My mom knew like just enough to not know, to not have like a full conversation. She's like, shit. She was like, I was gonna have a full-on conversation and everything. I was like, you'll get him next time, Mom. Yeah, you bet, Emery's. Lots to come. Lots to come. Oh, I believe it's Arfita. We were at like some store or something like that. I forget what it was. Yeah. But my mom like loves traveling. She loves like learning other languages. She speaks Arabic. I think she spoke French for a while, something like that. So she always like tried to go out of her way to, you know, speak a local language or something whenever she was traveling. Sometimes it backfires. Yeah, dude, that would drive me crazy of like learning the different dialects for Spanish spoken in Spain, Portuguese spoken in Portugal versus Brazil or something like that. That's gotta be tough. Alright, I need mana. I really want to find a way to take power loop. Energy loop. I want to find a way. Yeah, French in Canada versus, you know, French in France. Yep. Yo, what up, Mario? Maybe I just like really like charades or something, but it was pretty fun going to Rotterdam in Belgium and then just having to figure out what people were saying. It was almost like going around being illiterate. I guess it technically was. Yeah. You like travel while illiterate because you don't speak the language or really know what they're saying, but you have to like figure it out from context clues. Eh. I was getting a lot of mileage out of Google Translate. Oh, yeah. Slang that develops in different areas? Oh, yeah. Yep. English in the US versus English in England. So funny thing is I grew up with like literally like first generation British immigrants in my neighborhood. And so there were so many times when they were growing up that like what they heard at home was a lot different than what we would say in school. Yeah. Yeah. Watch Hostel and you might not travel again? Nah. It'll be fine. Mama said good things happen to good people, so I'll just be fine, you know? Nothing bad will happen to me. Holy. Break me out. Boom. Nice. You know, there's also another, I guess it's kind of a horror movie, but it's more of like a slasher flick. What was it called? It was like James Franco. It was actually like The Rental, and it was like Airbnb owner like murders the tenants and stuff. Yeah. It's creepy. They're putting like cameras everywhere and stuff too. Press feels good, but still like a lot more work than other healers to do like the same healing, which I don't like. I've had no issues there, B&Bs. I've gotten them for like BlizzCon and TwitchCon and stuff like that with friends. Like when I did TwitchCon 2 years ago, I was one of the last people to get in from the flight, and they had bunk beds, and I had the bottom bunk. And I'm like 6'4", my legs are like hanging off the sides. I was like, fuck, I'm getting a hotel next time. That's usually like the worst of it. But there were like, I want to say like 10 of us or something like that, cramped into like a 2 or 3 bedroom house. Something like that. Last time your friend group rented one, we showed up, the owner stayed in the basement. We had zero clue till the dude came out around midnight thinking we went to bed and said he was hungry. Okay, that's horrifying. That's fucking horrifying. I don't know why you would want to have... Yeah, I don't know why you would want to stay there at the same time as your tenants and stuff. Yeah. There you go, Serafita. Didn't even stay the night, went to a hotel? Yeah. I don't blame you, man. That would creep me out. Oh, shit. Res is good healing, but it still feels like it's a lot more like setup and just like work, I guess, compared to other healers. I know part of that is certainly just me playing the spec enough, and then it gets, you know, faster and easier and everything the more you play it, but I think also just the amount of setup before damage happens, the amount of almost like extra overheal I go out of my way to do just to make sure I'm like prepared for a hit. Things like that. Like here I prepped up my stasis so early, and it's probably just gonna get spooged into nothing. Yeah. I guess it's fine though. Hope the Void wins next X-Pack. Death to the Titans, long live the Void. Well, we're helping Xalatath, or she's helping us, depending on your viewpoint. So, probably a good chance that we let the Titans get killed. Ah, GM, Zoo. Alright, you gotta tell me. We got a problem, Zoo. Why is it that Canada has to do everything but just before America? Alright? Like, why is Canada having their Canada Day just before our America Day? Why are you guys doing that? Why do you guys do Thanksgiving before our Thanksgiving? Why do you guys always gotta be first? Makes no sense to me. Spite. I knew it. I knew it. When the privilege, when they burned the White House down, it was lightly charred. This saga will be like Star Wars original trilogy where the Empire Strikes Back. Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. I think it'd be pretty predictable. It'll be pretty predictable. I have a question. Why is America? Okay, well, first tell me where you are so I can direct the insult back at you. America's 0-2. You want to go for 3? Get out of here. All these jumpers. These fucking jumpers. It's true, gotta get those holidays in. Yeah. I gotta find what I'm gonna do for 4th of July, to be honest. Drinking, wow. I have in the past. I don't really drink much these days, though. Fun to celebrate your birthday? Aw. Wait, it's your birthday and Canada Day? What the fuck? Oh, your birthday's literally on the 4th of July? That's crazy. Wait, is that what they call it in the history books? The War of Colonial Aggression? I didn't see any spoilers just running it, Gweezy, but they apparently say that it's after the fact. That what I picked up from the story is like, this guy betrayed us. Let's go kill him. And that was about it. That was all I picked up. But I wasn't running every little thing, you know? Yeah. I imagine if I read like more of the text or something, there'd be additional info or something like that. I'm gonna treadmill. Aren't you hot already? This lets me eat more food. Lets me accumulate more mass. And not get chubby in the process. I bet we could do pretty good lore videos for WoW. Yeah. I see like other content creators who want to do it, and then we'll do like drunk history or something like that, but for WoW. Yeah. No chance of rain yet, Hywell. No chance of rain yet. Did you know that most feared soldiers by the Germans in World War II and World War I were the Canadians? Did you learn that in Canadian school? This red has nothing on yours? That's why I told you not to feel bad, Fig. Yeah. Lots of learning. Lots of learning. Holy. Booker seem like the move next patch? No, but it's fun to play. It's not like bad, but I don't think it's gonna be like an S tier, you know? Yeah, I should not be trusted with Bloodlust. I should not be trusted with Bloodlust. Yeah, this is the Eco Dome Aldani. It's the new dungeon next season. I am way, way overcasting my spheres. Ball. No. Does WoW need toxic players? Wait, what? Does it? Oh yeah, percent. Movement based melee healer that'll take Mistweaver's place as the melee healer, Mega's in shambles, and re-rolls a Holy Priest. Now that would be a crazy future. That would be a crazy future. Oh, the mana. All right. Whoop. People are really upset if the next spec doesn't have hero specs. It definitely will. It should. Yeah. It definitely should. Because, like, isn't there just one? Or I guess there's two, right? And it's shared between Havoc and VDH right now. Maybe they would do, like, a shuffle or something? Maybe they would, like, revamp all the hero talents for Demon Hunters? Do Demon Hunters even want that? Do they, like, does each spec have one that they, like, actually hate? Because maybe they would do that, and then they would, like, add another one. So there'd be, like, Void, which would interact with, like, Havoc, and then the new one, and then, I don't know, one of the Vengeance ones would pair up with the Fel one. Yeah, who knows? That's a them problem. That's a them problem. Proposal of dropping healer add-ons such as weak orders DBM. Not a fan. Not without some like really significant changes to the Blizzard's base raid frames. Which I don't really think is going to happen. Right? I don't really think it's going to happen, so... Yeah. Be some pretty significant issues along the way. One button for healers. Hard pass. Hard pass. Hey, Host Joe. I think Prez has like gotten better with the talent changes they've made, but it's still like a lot more work for this similar healing as to other healers that don't have to work as hard. So, you know. It's kind of whatever. You gonna break down and look at Drain? Woo! 5 hits, baby. Huge value. Yeah. Hey, Jack, I remember it was this time last year. I had just broken up with my girlfriend, and I was here watching you play PTR. Things are better now, and I wanted to say thanks. It helped a lot back then. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it, Darda. Really, really glad to hear it, man. Hope things have been improving a lot for you. 10k per tick. I cannot believe, Show, that the Warlock is complaining about their defensive strength. How is the Warlock complaining about his defensive strength and self-healing and self-mitigation? The funny web is 13%. It is, yeah. Imagine when everybody has this and everybody has that value. Oh, yep. And then Dark Pact, on average, what's 125 mil by 23? On average, 5.5 mil in effective shielding you get out of Dark Pact every minute, right? Isn't it just a minute cooldown? Wow. Wow. And then what is Soul Leech? Single target damage done by your minions grants you and your pets absorbs. Like, what the fuck, man? Just perma shields? That's 70% of a powered shield. It's around a regular shield. It's like an average powered shield. I think there's a private fellowship test coming up that I signed up for, but I haven't heard back about yet. But I asked and they said there was no streaming to it. So I will definitely play it, and I'll see what their rules are on like recording it. Yeah, they haven't sent me any like NDAs or anything, so I haven't seen anything to spoil it. But yeah, depending on the NDA, you know, I'll try to like record it if they let me, and then make a video about it or something with my thoughts. Personally, I think Fellowship's gonna be like a really, really good game, but I haven't gotten to like any sort of end game yet. I was doing like early dungeons and stuff, so yeah. I know exactly, man, sauce. Plus the regular defensives and Demonic Hearthstone and Mortal Coil. Yeah, kind of nuts. Why do WoW bother to make a one-button rotation if they aren't going to fix the dungeon finders for people? Because, I mean, honestly, if you haven't played the one-button rotation as a DPS, it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Nah, no new PTR build today. They said there was... Well, we assumed that there was going to be one today, but it looks like it's going to be tomorrow. Yeah. Except for DH. They'll make it better. I'm sure. I'm sure. Found the one button weaker on your rogue, which means you're a good player, you know? But like, if it's better than like 75% of like the range or something like that, then like, yeah, if you're somebody who plays a lot or have like a lot of experience, it should make sense that you're going to play better with it, right? But I think for a lot of people just getting into playing a spec or brand new to a spec, it's going to carry pretty hard. Like, from what I've seen, I haven't played with it, obviously, I'm just a healer. But I feel like if I spent a few minutes playing with it as Shadow, that I would be able to do like some pretty high keys and like high rate and everything with a one button. Yeah, I'm just a healer. I just make the health bars go up. Yeah. I hope they fix that kind of cross-faction stuff, Adora. Yeah, it's long overdue. It is long overdue. You weren't making your HP bar go up? Show, why do you lie? Why do you lie so much for no gain? Look at this. Total damage taken in the group. You were second most. You were second most. And I healed you for 60% of all the damage you took. And then you self-healed yourself with your absorbs, the other 40%. Burning Rush pad? Burning Rush isn't even here. Where's the Burning Rush? Where's the Burning Rush? I don't see it. I don't see it. Show, why do you just lie, okay? Why do you just lie? God, this guy just loves telling lies on the internet for fun. For no gain. For no gain. Oh, I took all this damage. Ah, must have been Burning Rush. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Lying for fun's an insane pastime. It is. It is. Go on a nice date. You're like, hey, what are your hobbies? Oh, lying to my friends. You know, just telling fibs. Hey, big vaults. I've been working on the vaults for my alts. So I had a neck upgrade for my Shaman, which replaced like a 620. Something like that. It should still show damage taken by spell or something. Yeah, there it is, 6 mil. It's just so low. It's just so low on the overall damage taken. Like, it should show here, but it's 6 mil, which is under the invading streak. So it's under the cap. So technically, it would show there, but it's easier to find it here. Yeah. All together now. We played some Disc Priest today. Yeah. We played Disc, Prez, Shaman, Druid. Those big ones. The time dilation, bro, you're killing me. No show, you're killing me. And I'm saving your life. I'm saving your life. You didn't even die one time. How am I having this conversation with a warlock on his own survivability when he didn't even die once in the dungeon? I swear to God, Sho can just proc me like no other. Oh, he can just proc me like no other. You perfectly heal the character. That's the thing, guys. You should never be nice to damage-dealing players because you can heal them perfectly. They never die in the dungeon, and there's still some commentary, okay? There's still something that they want to say. Some comment they want to say. I know. Getting one guide. I know. Well, I did MDI with Sho for a season and stuff, and not much has changed. My priest name, Jack B. Caston. Like Jack B. Raging at this point. I'm gonna play teenagers again. Alright, gamers. I'm gonna chill. If you want to see any of the VODs and stuff like that for the healer testing, I always will mark the VODs on YouTube and be like, I played this thing today. I played that thing today, you know? Actually, Jack B. Slamming is my warrior, but I think he's like in the Blood Elf starting zone still. Jack B. Rage is now the priest. Ah, I see. I see where we're taking it. I would embarrass you. Sho, I was DPSing cutting edge before you even spoke your first words, okay? Come on, bud. The OG AutomaticJak playing Rogue and Siege of Orgrimmar, slamming. Big damn. That was my retirement. I was like, I'm done. Done it all with DPS. I'm gonna go heal now. Alright, gamers. About to head off. I could just yap the show all day. Let me know tomorrow if you want a game when the new dungeons are up, though. Yep. But stream tomorrow. We slam big keys. A lot of PTR. Hopefully new dungeons, new build, new changes, all that other good stuff. And more videos coming soon, so sub to the YouTube. We're trying to hit 100K subs before the end of the year. We are at almost 81K, so we got a ways to go. But we're gonna try for it, all right? Love you guys, take care, and thanks for all the love today, all right? Let's see who is still streaming. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Kalamazoo is streaming. Let's say what's up to Kalamazoo. All right, GG's guys. Have a good night. Whoop.